Hello viewers, it's another beautiful afternoon to cast some Major League Mech Warrior. This is a week where it gets serious. It's week 6. It's going to be the best of 5 from here on out, losers and winners brackets, and this is what I'd consider to be the first serious heavyweight match we've had in the tournament so far. This is number 1 ranked Imperial versus 228's Black Watch. They are ranked number 4. So this is definitely going to be a good series. Tourmaline Desert, my favorite map. The rotation pretty much goes the same, it just continues on. It's Conquest, 3 lights, 3 mediums, 3 heavies, 3 assaults for drops 1, 3, and 5. And for drop 2 is Skirmish 720 tons, and for drop 4, if there is a 4 and 5, there will be Skirmish 600 tons, so it's a little bit of a lighter deck. Definitely going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Two very good teams, both of them able to play a diverse range of options, both perfectly capable of trading or getting right in there and really pushing somebody hard. So don't really know how they're going to play this one. Lots of options on Tourmaline, so it should be a really fun fight to watch. Be sure to pay attention to Twitch chat as well. I will be giving out mech bays. Hopefully I can be a little more organized about this. We're going to get one going right off the bat. If you want a mech bay, type no pants in chat. There's no space. Just one word, no pants. No caps, no space, no pants. Anyways, I guess not a whole lot to talk about here. Well, there's tons to talk about, but they're going to get going pretty soon. I see a lot of people in lobby, so I assume that we're going to be going in just a couple of minutes here. Might as well test out the rest of the overlay here just to make sure that everything works. Gonna switch over to the map here. Can we draw the customary smiley face? Well, you know what? Viewers seem to like blue penises, so we're gonna draw one of those. I know that's really bad, but you know what? Does it work? It works. Alrighty. Still just watching the friends list for them to drop in. Gonna be probably a little less chatty this time since I have to actually manage some of the other stuff here. Oh yeah, big news. Army of One saying it in chat 5 minutes ago, of course, now, but public spectator coming. It's going to be a huge boon because I'm not going to have to go through Tina to request everybody anymore, and anybody can just pick up and do this anytime. It'll be way easier. I'm not going to have to watch the friends list. I just get invited to the lobby and drop in there. Hopefully we'll see some better overlay stuff so I can better deliver to you a casting experience, because right now I can't jump into the mech that I want. I can't do any of the things that I want to do in Spec Client, so really excited for that. That's apparently dropping July 27th. Everybody should be excited because everybody will get to use it. The only thing that I am sad about is that I will no longer get to spectate public games, but I only do that for the lulz anyways, so whatever. It's for the greater good. Still in lobby, still waiting for him to drop. We're going to take a look at the team overlays. Just want to say right off the bat, because I know there's not going to be anything here, Imperial, you should totally send me some stuff, like a paragraph, and a logo, and a website, and whatever else the hell you have, if you have any of those things. Having said that, Imperial, although they are, a more recent incarnation, it's, a lot of the same core players that have been in that group for a long time, let's see, let's just go down the roster. Adi, Heimdallite, Proton, Twinkie, I mean, basically lots of the community's top competitive players. Some of them have come from different teams, like Twinkie Overlord was Swords of Kintaris originally, but a lot of these guys have been around forever, been on a lot of those classic competitive units, Deviate back in the day, Lords, the original incarnation, until the most recent Fall Apart, and this is basically just continuation of the Lords, so that's them. 228th, big quality unit, big... I don't know. I like the family mentality around there. Lots of good guys. Dad Fire, always there to give some dadly advice. And this is their quote-unquote A-team, if you want to call it that. So You will probably recognize quite a few of these names if you have been playing for a while. Oh man, I didn't realize I had Blood Knight. Blood Knight used to be... I don't want to... It wasn't Templars. It was Luna Wolves. Luna Wolves, man. I used to remember back in the day when they would just Q stomp with like 6 and 8 mans, and I would just be stuck there in a game. Not a game. Game after game after game. Just getting completely steamrolled by them. Zeus, Blood Knight, and one other guy that whose username is just totally escaping me, but good guys. Always glad to see them around. So I don't really know what we're going to see here other than probably Dire Wolves. I feel like they will... I don't know. I guess you could go for Banshee for that, you know, high heat-free DPS fire support kind of thing, but I think that the Dire Wolf, this is its kind of map. The Atlas, there's... You can maneuver it around here, I guess, in some fashion, but for the most part, there are just way too many open places for an Atlas, or really anything too brawly in general to get used. I don't think we're going to see any sort of SRM deck here. Maybe we'll see streaks, maybe especially on the lighter drop, but, you know, I'm not really expecting it right now. I'm gonna check chat really quick and make sure that nothing is terribly wrong with the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna try to not forget the overlay. So, you know, it's always a roll of the dice. You know, there we go. That's what I like to see. No pants all over chat. Get one of these done before the first drop. And anybody that thinks they're being clever, just full disclosure here, it's like some plugin that just looks for a word that gets typed and then distributes it to one of those random people. So if you think you're being clever by almost typing no pants, you're really just putting yourself out of the running there. Although I do love seeing all of the variations on no pants. Commando. Still in lobby. I guess that shouldn't surprise me. So yeah. I'm gonna say we're gonna be started at 640 to 641. I'm being optimistic here. Actually, you know, I could probably check the forums right now and figure out who's got which drop side. Let's see if I can do that before we get in drop here really quick. Blah, 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 week 6. Yeah. They did not say on the thread, unfortunately, so I don't know which side is which. Not that that's a huge deal. Just so you all know how it works, 228th picks sides the first time since they are the lower ranked seed, and then every match after that, the loser of the previous match will choose what side of the map they want. So basically when it goes to skirmish, someone is always going to be up a point, and the other team is going to have to push, or if there's a draw, both teams get a point. So there's no good reason to draw if you're down. You really want to take it to them in the skirmish mode, but at least you get to pick which side of the map you're coming from, and that kind of balances that out. Credit to Heimdallite, the captain of EmpyreaL here, for coming up with pretty much all these rules. I've had to tweak a couple of things and, you know, put out some fires that came along, but for the most part, this was him, and I want to say maybe Vils too came up with this rule set, so good job, guys. It's really solid. I've really enjoyed it so far, and there definitely have not been any stalemates like you have seen in some other competitive leagues, although not nearly as much lately. Since I apparently still need to talk for a while, let's talk about this week's other matches. So, TCAF and Mercstar finally played on Sunday. Yeah, I'm going to ruin the outcome for you. MS took it, and they will be playing QQ perhaps Wednesday or Thursday. That's what I see in the scheduling thread, but no confirmation yet, so who knows? CSJ SJR is going to be playing 9:30 p.m. Eastern on, I want to say Thursday. Just make sure so I'm not just BSing you, correct? And Antari Scorpions plays Seraphim Rising Storm at 8:30 p.m. on Friday night. I will, if nobody else can cast those, I will figure out a way. So I feel like, okay, it says Imperial apparently does have a site. Well, you guys should totally send it to me. I would love to put all your info in here into this little CSV file that I have with this awesome overlay. And as always, a big shout out to Farp Noodle for this awesome overlay. This would not have been possible without him, so hell yeah, thanks man. Shout out to Audie for telling me they're dropping into a match right now. I always am watching the friends list at this point, but it's also nice to have somebody on your side that's letting you know what's going on. The spectate request did succeed. We're switching to the game overlay. Round 1 between Imperial and 228 Blackwatch. Here we go. I'm pretty sure I see Overlord, Twinkie Overlord over there in red, so I'm gonna guess that blue's gonna be 228 here. Sure enough, 228 over here in blue, and for their drop deck, we've got a couple of Raven 4Xs, maybe all Raven 4Xs. Yep, for the lights, we've got Wolverine 6Ks, all probably with large lasers. Got, of course, 3 Direwolves. We got an ECM Hellbringer and 2 Timberwolves, so fairly rounded, standard competitive drop deck. 2 Fire Starters and a Raven 2X from Imperial. We've got Stormcrow, Hellbringers, 3 Hellbringers for the ECM. All the Direwolves have posted up here, and they're going to try to form a firing line here. I've actually seen this in one of their old matches against SJR. No, SJR did this to them. That's what it was. 228th, definitely spread out. Those Timberwolves way over on the right side. The Ravens and Wolverines still getting into position here. Imperial just forming up. I don't know if they're going to end up charging, but they've got a nice firing line, so anybody that pokes out is really going to get wrecked. Green down to 97%, not too bad on that first shot. Fire Starters staying wide, taking the cap points, and so they're, I believe they're going to force, they're going to force 228 to make a move at some point just by having more map control. Looking at it though, it doesn't seem like either team has the advantage on the caps. So it looks like the lights may actually have just totally ignored stuff. Selith down to 73% of that Direwolf. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at some of these numbers. So Selith is opened up in the back. Probably got shot by his own team. Trades are going about even right now. Definitely no clear advantage from what I can see. So you see this sort of classic thing. They're trying not to peek out too much, because if they peek out too much, they're exposed to that entire team. Even where they are poking out, they can only do it because they're a Direwolf. Now Heimdallite getting way up there in that Hellbringer, maybe even leading. Yep, maybe. I don't know if they're moving up or not. It sure kind of looks like they're thinking about it. 228, in the meantime, lots of them have shifted way right. I don't know, man. This doesn't look good just because those Direwolves are totally cut off at this point. If Imperial pushes one side or the other, I don't know that the Direwolves could be saved. Having said that, it looks like they're getting looks from a lot of different angles, so it's definitely not biting them in the ass so far. Gonna take another look at damage numbers. 54 Selith. That's got to be some real damage. He'll be a half a Direwolf if he gets clipped one more time. CT on Panic Button. Spread on Pisces. Panic Button definitely the worst looking out of 228th, and he's wisely just going to kind of back off here. EmpyreaL looks like they're pushing in. I gotta believe that they're going for it now. And now we're going to find out if 228th can get back to these direwolves, or even if they're going to push on them. Because right now it looks like, well, it looks like they're just waiting for their direwolves. Selith might end up going down here, but he'll probably make it at least across. Oh no, he did not. So Selith goes down, and the first kill goes to 228th. 228th keeping them from coming over that ridge on the direwolves, and it looks like at this point, even though they're split, having said that, Grim just turned the wrong corner and just got completely mashed by a full firing line. EmpyreaL not in a great position if they keep poking that ridge, if they get shot from two sides, but they can sort of choose which side they want to go for at this point. I just don't know if they're doing it. 228 very split, but... And the lights in the back doing some scouting work. They're trying to harass. Another one down for EMP. So it's 3 down for EMP, 1 down for 228. Then that was just a Wolverine Twinkie down at 39% in that direwolf. Don't know how much is left, but it's probably not much. And a direwolf does go down for 228. And it looks like 228 finally getting a semblance of togetherness here. They've trotted their last mechs out. 1 or 2 Ravens still in the back, but I don't think they're going to get caught. So it's 3-2, close game. Lots of really damaged mechs on both sides here. Let's take a look through. Panic is 1 shot in that direwolf. Brim's actually okay. Not good in that direwolf. And everybody else is just a little bit hurt, but EmpyreaL got a lot of red players here. Twinkie, not even half a direwolf. I'm in this Hellbringer, putting down some good damage here. Peter 2000 goes down.
Target acquired.
And at this point, it looks like they're just playing the NASCAR game for the most part. Audi and his Firestarter gets caught out. He's chasing down that Raven. He wants him, trying to give his team maybe a little bit of a chance while they shoot at him. And it looks like, I think both of those lights went down. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like both of them died there. Banana Nut goes down in his Stormcrow. Only a couple left for both teams at this point. It looks like it's sort of going EMP's way. Definitely more dead for 228th. It's a neutered mechs though. Grim and McKellius, the only heavies left for 228th.
New target. Right torso critical. Center torso critical damage.
And so it looks like this is almost assuredly going to go EMP's way after a very close fought fight. Look at those percentages. Nothing over 44, while Aurora and a Firestarter both legged, and Aurora takes it for the finish. What a great match. But you're glad I didn't leave the overlay up on that one, huh? So looking at damage numbers, just a solid game across the board. Edmeister really carrying hard, and I believe that was a Raven 4X, I want to say. I could be wrong about that. Say that was a Wolverine, so yeah, probably. Still, lots of good damage numbers on both teams. Really, it just came down to the slimmest of margins there. I think that both teams were pretty cautious at the end, and EmpyreaL just did better at the cautious trading game. I think that 228th probably needed to capitalize on the advantage they have and maybe make EMP a little uncomfortable, but tough call, very close game. Great first match. And so Imperial takes the first match. Next drop is going to be Skirmish, 720 tons. Same map. 87 viewers. Oh, damn. So I guess we might as well do a recap while waiting for that. Should probably get my friends list up just to make sure they don't drop without me here. That means that 228th, yet again, will pick the side of the map that they want to drop on. This one will be Skirmish, and the burden is going to be on 228th to push. In the event of a tie, both teams are awarded a point. Probably do not want to do that. So switching over to the map view here. EMP is going to be in blue, and 228 is going to be in red. So EMP taking that nice, strong firing line position there. It's a great way to shoot pretty much anywhere around the stage. And the stage, of course, is that I guess raw green. The stage is this thing. I mean, I guess you could include down here, but I don't like down there. So let's get this stuff out of the way. Really wish this interface was a little less janky, but it is not. We will make do. Alright, so 228th taking an interesting split approach with their firing line. So they put their dire wolves sort of back here behind this little rock. You can kind of see that little dark spot on the map right there, and they just sort of peeked from around there. In the meantime, a lot of the rest of their team really went wide. They had, you know, Ravens high up on the perches on the Tourmalines. They had a lot of guys shift over here. They were doing a great job at poking, but I do think that it was dangerous where they didn't really have a sight line on their bigs. There are 3 direwolves just over there in Delta 5 alone, and honestly, if Imperial had just straight pushed in, I don't know that the guys in Charlie 4 would have been able to quite make it back in time, at least from the point where Imperial charged up and took this. That's way too thick. That's what she said. There we go. Alright, so they moved up here, and they took this little spot here, and at this point, this is when I thought they were just going to sort of roll over the hill onto those direwolves, but they didn't. They stayed back, and they tried to shield themselves from the direwolves' fire by just staying on this side of the ridge. And then applied pressure to these guys over here. Got a really nice shot on a Timberwolf as it came around the corner. Made some pretty good trades there. And then they just sort of snaked around. 228th in the meantime. Just making sure we haven't dropped. Okay, I thought we dropped, but we didn't. Alright. 228th in the meantime finally rotated their direwolves right, grouped up their force around here, and then we just sort of played the NASCAR. They ended up sort of with their last stand over here. Imperial swapped places with them and came around to finish up over here. There's a little bit of light fighting and light chasing, but for the most part, really well fought fight, really close, good trades, good close in. Came down to the thinnest of margins. I think that, you know, Imperial basically just got the kill shots that they needed to. I don't know if it was just the angles they were taking or if there was something in particular they were doing, but they were finishing off those almost dead mechs, and 228 just wasn't. You know, at one point during the rotation, you know, I thought that Imperial were goners. You know, their 2 direwolves and a bunch of others were either weaponless or weak one shot, but they pulled it out. That's what good teams do. So congratulations, EMP, and it should be an exciting second match here. I'm trying to locate a penis on this drawing because I know that's what everybody's going to do, and I feel like there is a blue penis here. It's got an X for one of the balls, but you know, it's there. I don't know. Now that I look at it, this guy just looks really stoned right here. But you know, maybe that's just me. So, going to skirmish next. No cap points, but I'm too lazy to change it on here, especially because these maps are out of date. Probably don't even have the right spawns and all of that other good stuff. So, you're not viewers. Let's see what chat's got. Hey, I should give away that mech bait that I was talking about giving away before that first match, huh? Giveaway. Do it. Xanathus, you are the winner. Xanathus 29, Xanthus. You know what? We're just gonna stop trying to pronounce that name, and we're just gonna send you a mech bay. I should probably get another one of these things going. I should probably get like a stream moderator to do this crap for me, but I am too lazy every time, and it bites me in the ass every time. So, Xanthus, whatever. Your giveaway code should be NA Twist Matches on its way, or hopefully by the time I'm saying this on stream, already in your inbox. Redeem it on MWmerks.com. There's a redeem button at top, so something like that. Should be pretty easy. McBay. Alright. Enjoy that. Still in lobby, still waiting. Haven't just missed the drop here, so good stuff. I guess we'll do the second. In honor of Vils being in chat, I almost want to make it the autism is real, but we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna offend loads of people. So, jeez. I'm trying to think of a good trivia question, but I'm really bad at the whole trivia game. Cause like, what do I do that isn't just gonna give it to like the, 20 people that have played this game the longest, or that have read the most lore books? I don't know. I'm trying to get new players some mech base here, so... You know what? We're just gonna go with no pants. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. No creativity today, so no pants it is. While we wait. So yeah, like 5 minutes ago in chat, I started making stuff happen, and it was great. Weren't a lot of pants. Should probably copy and paste this. Nope, still in lobby. Still just waiting. It'd be really nice to just ask how everyone was doing today, but you're 5 minutes behind. I'm never gonna be able to read the answers in exactly 5 minutes from now. Wow. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we did that. Okay, it looks like they have dropped in. I will announce the winner of the Mech Bay after this next match. So we are going in. Hit the casting overlay up. Skirmish, 720 tons. There are no class restrictions, so expect to see more uniform drop decks. Like, you know, all Thunderbolts and 2 fire starters or something similar. I see banana nut muffins over there in red. It looks like it's going to be the same sides. Redrop, actually. Just heard redrop, so let's see which team can kill themselves the fastest. Who knows? I will say that redrops are just about my least favorite thing in the world on this, on drop 2 and 4 when it happens, because the whole point of, like, Skirmish 720 tons is so you can build your drop deck however you want. You can build it, you know, uniform and really fast, or you can build it with assaults or whatever, and now these teams are going to get to see each other's configurations, take some of the surprise out of it. That's always sucky. I don't really know what happened, but somebody, considering these teams are both, you know, experienced competitive teams, I don't think this was a situation where a pause would have sufficed. Somebody screwed the pooch, and yeah, so Imperial definitely taken it by a long shot so far. I mean, it's you know, Imperial's got 11 guys down, and it's only, yeah, these guys are barely even playing to lose. I don't even know what this is. This is pathetic. You gotta kill yourself faster than that. Oh, I was hoping it would stick the landing. Damn it. I would have given away 500 MC for that right there. If that had stuck the landing, bam. So, what can you do? I'm going to have to restart client because I'm stupid and I didn't get in anybody's cockpit, so that is just how that goes. We're going to switch away while I go ahead and restart client. Hopefully I can get back in game in a reasonable amount of time here without the computer locking up. Beware, everyone, my setup seems to be really sketchy, and something I open in some order likes to hard crash my computer. So if I go away, that's what happened. I'll be back momentarily. Hopefully we won't miss too much. Hopefully that's not going to happen, though. I feel like that's TeamSpeak overlay, and it's all happy by now. Anyways, it was hide your kids. Hide your kids. 11 11 11 11 11 1, something like that. Hide your kids with 5 1s. You are the winner. And I will send you your mech bay momentarily. Zara, I would tell jokes, but I am not very good at that. So we will just leave the comedy to people who know what the hell they're doing. Alright, client's back up, friends list is back up, they're back in lobby, and I believe they literally might have just dropped. This could be perfect timing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what this is, and I'm not even going to leave the overlay up this time. I'm going to be nice to you, so here we go. Redrop, round 2, skirmish, 720 tons. And I should probably remind myself to message hide your kids. Alright, good. Same sides, all that again. So, we're going with 3 dire wolves, 2 hellbringers, 3 hellbringers, 4 hellbringers, two trading ravens, 2 fire starters, and a storm crow. That might just be a street crow, is it? No, I see Gauss vomit on it. So a pretty diverse drop deck there. They are slow because of those dire wolves. 228th going a very stalker heavy route. Lots of stalkers. Wow, 6 stalkers. I want to say 3 or 4 miseries and 2 4 ends. and then the rest is just Raven 4Xs. Just all Raven 4Xs. I love this drop deck. This is such a sketchy, weird trading drop deck, and this is why I love Skirmish in general as a mode. 2 fire starters going off to scout, just making sure where everything is. 228th, on the other hand, doesn't seem to really care. They're just playing the trading game for right now. Having said that, they're going to have to come to EMP unless EMP decides to go to them. The burden is on 228 to push, so I don't know that this trading deck is going to serve them incredibly well when they're forced to push in here. But we'll see how it goes. They got 10 minutes to get it done. Let's check in on those fire starters. Let's look at Adi and Aurora.
Airstrike online.
Very smart, very cautious, very deliberate scouting. Just making sure nothing else is happening here.
Online.
Not really, no. EMP set up with this great defensive position here, the bowl. You can approach it from a couple of ways, but definitely it's a very difficult spot on this map to approach, because you've either got to make this open approach and then all swing around right and then all feed either through here, or you can go all the way up around, but that's a big travel time, or you get stuck down in the canyon of death. And if anybody was watching that podcast yesterday, when J-Man and his team got stuck down there, it's just never a good place to be. Never works out in pugs, and in competitive matches, I would imagine it would be even worse. Guess we'll take a look at percentages, although I suspect that pretty much nothing has happened. Seleth, the lowest. No, Seleth and Aurora sharing the lowest at a completely spread out 93, and Aurora's got a little bit of leg damage, so he actually did take a little bit of damage that will probably not be good later on, but 228th has got a long ways to go just to get in here, and I don't know. I gotta hope they're aware of the rule on this, that both teams get a point if this goes to a draw. But, I read the rules, so it's not my fault. I'm gonna make sure the overlay is, overlay is good. Alright. Yeah, they're just really poking. I mean, they're probably not even getting full damage. Maybe getting like a third, quarter damage at that range. How far away is everybody? Let's... And 228th finally does decide to move up. They're gonna move up into the big crater. Hula hoop. Whatever. I'm gonna call that hula hoop. Imperial in basically no rush to even poke. They don't even care. They see that 228th is pretty pokey, and frankly I don't think they want any part of it. The direwolves are not well suited to poking. They're well suited to, dumping their damage on something they can see and continuing to do so, but Hellbringers are still going to do it, but wisely they're going to save their direwolves. And Lights, again, taking a very cautious approach to scouting, very smart, just watching those edges, making sure that nobody sort of gets out of their sight, that they know where the entire 228th force is at any given time. Swing and a miss. That was a good hit. And again, EMP just sees no reason to even bother trading. I guess at this point, we might as well just go through everybody's deck. So of course, 6 large lasers, 3 ERs and a Gauss, it looks like is what they're running on their miseries. Definitely not a bad way to go. Coburn's taking the most damage up there in that trading Raven, but, you know, 12% off a Raven when you've only got 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in this match is definitely not particularly fantastic. I don't know that this was the best deck considering the spot they're in. Again, because they're forced to charge in on this match. Yeah, I just don't know that you know, this total trading deck was the way to go. I mean, this is a great defensive deck. Having said that, 228th only needs to pick up 1 kill. If they pick up 1 kill and the time runs out, they've got it. Fire starters swinging over to the right, just making sure nothing's over there. And now the trading fight really has begun in earnest. That would have been a nice strike had it not been for Tourmalines. Oh, maybe still. Nice. That was a good strike. Not bad. Tourmalines blocked some of it, but not all of it. Stalkers are now moving. They've got a nice deep firing line, and that's something that a lot of teams miss. You don't want all your guys line abreast in one line. You want, you know, 2, 3 lines of line abreast so that, you know, the guys in back can pick up shots from the exact same angle. You know, somebody pokes out here and bam, you got one guy here, one guy here, one guy here if you can. EMP, definitely not backing down, making the trades they need to. Twinkie, though, Twinkie's taking some serious damage, 54%. Let's take a look. They might not be in a great spot now because he's definitely opened up somewhere. Both sides. Selith also in a direwolf. Left side. Weak CT as well. Head in one of the stalkers, probably from that strike. Lots of these stalkers are just fine. Spread all over the place. Now, EMP's lights have gone all the way around, and they might just be trying to catch 1 or 2 of these out. Now, okay, here comes a big push. Pisces 0 going in. He's going to probably be the first to go down in this match. Although that Stormcrow definitely not looking good. Stalkers just take so much damage. Look at that. Still not down. Finally goes down. 2 dead for 228th. 2 dead for EMP. It's neck and neck. Oh my god. Spectator interface, stop. Get it off my screen. 228th, moving around. Defunct. So we've got 3 dead for 228th, 2 dead for EMP. It's going to go to EMP if they can't pick up a kill quick. And sure enough, those fire starters coming in behind the Ravens. Oh, what a strike! Double kill! Oh, that was sweet. I don't know who did that, but they are totally getting 500 MC for whatever that was. And sure enough, it does look like cleanup now. It looks like EMP, sure enough, has been able to focus fire better than 228th. Their full force is bottled up, and it is going to go to EMP rather convincingly, despite a lot of damaged mechs. And so damage again, incredibly even. You know, very good job on both teams getting the damage out. But ultimately, it's EMP that protects their wounded and focuses out the weaklings a little bit better. And they take it 11-3. And I don't think that 228th left themselves enough time in that last charge. I feel like they got rushed because, you know, you saw those 2 or 3 stalkers sort of charging on their own way ahead. You know, the Ravens were back there, but 3 of their stalkers were sort of out of the fight. I just don't know that it was the right deck for that drop, considering they had to push. And, you know, if they were going to do it that way, they really needed to get into position to push a little bit earlier. I think that might have been what sealed the deal there. So, second match goes to Imperial. It's now 2-0 in their favor. Let's not get the map overlay. Let's get the match overlay. Let's get this and get rid of that and that. Bam. Alright, and next drop is going to be back on Conquest 3333. So, and yet again, it will be 228's choice of the map sides. And Hydra Kids, I am sending your mech bay now. So by now I mean 5 minutes ago when you hear me talking about this. But yeah, it should be in your inbox now. So let's see what chat is up to, shall we? I'm gonna say that, geez. Probably give away one more mech bay. Maybe. I need to know who did that 500, or the double Raven strike. Whoever did the double Raven strike, curse the fact that there are no kill messages in spec mode. I need to know who did that, so somebody in chat let me know, somebody poke me, whatever. They get 500 MC. I don't care if it's lucky. That was awesome. We got a great view of it. And the crowd goes wild, right? So, let's see here. Just gonna make sure that all of the stuff on the overlay is mostly functioning properly right now. Yeah, mostly is. Alright, so let's go ahead and review this. In the meantime, do I want to give out another mech bay now? I guess we might as well, just in case it only goes to 3. Really hoping the 228th comes back here. I want a 5 series. That would be a great way to kick this series off. Let's see. Alright, map tactic. Might as well do that. Do the mech bay in a minute. Alright, let's clear off the penis and the stoner face. Clear the entire canvas. Alright, so again, we're going to have EMP down here in blue. They set up at this nice position down here. What's that? Not letting me draw? That's not... Did I just break map tactic? I don't know what I've done, but it's not functioning like I want it to. We're gonna refresh this page. Hope this maybe works a little bit better here. Okay. So, sketch, blue stuff. That's barely functional. Okay, whatever. You know what? You see the polygons of the EMP setup, I guess. 228 really took a backline approach, really just spread out all over the place. Eventually they moved up sort of into here, a couple guys there. And then with about 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, they really, I feel like their lead 3 stalkers or something like that was around here with 3:30 left. And oh yeah, the strike just happened in chat. Who did that strike? Yeah, so asking in chat, hopefully somebody... You did not, Army of One, you fucking liar. It was... Hairpiece, Vision, no. Hydra... Oh god. Okay, we're gonna say it was Hairpiece, because Twinkie said that, and he's on their team, so I actually trust him, and I don't trust any of you other people. Herp was in QQ the longest time ago. Great guy, been around forever, really easy to talk to, always love shooting the shit with that guy. Big shout out to Herp. I will send you your 500 MC somehow. I'll bug you in game or whatever. If I haven't given you your 500 MC pack by, I don't know, like tomorrow, bug me. I've forgotten, so congratulations on that. Anyways, finishing up this map, or this match recap, then like Ravens and other stuff got out in the background. Their stalker wall, only about 3 of them though, started pushing from here, and I feel like there was another column of 3 stalkers still back here when they started pushing in. Even though they had a lot of good trading power, I don't think they had their full line. I don't think they even had time to get their full line again. I think it was just a little bit too late. They realized how pressed they were on time. And ultimately, EMP just took better cover. They backed up. They used that little rock there. They did a good job shielding their really wounded guys. And again, that is pretty much what we saw in the first round. Very even damage spread. Very good trades on both sides. But EMP manages to keep those almost dead people alive throughout that entire game. And so where the damage was pretty much even, the score ended up 11-3 in Imperial's favor. And that is why they are the number 1 ranked team right now. And a traditional battle Pac-Man. God, that's even worse than normal. Wow, that's terrible. Also, rest in peace, Ravens, at the little pink "you got wrecked" memorial over here, because that was a tasty strike. Oof. So definitely a great series so far. Excited to see how this last match turns out. Can't lie, I'm totally in the tank for 228 on this one. Not overall, but because I want to see this go to 4 or 5 matches, I really want to see skirmish 600 tons. I want to see what teams do with that drop deck, so pray with me. Including, Imperial, just throw the match. I mean, no, I can't say that. I'm the league admin. Don't do that, but, somehow, we need the universe to conspire here. Although that said, 228 doesn't exactly need a lot of help there. They're doing really well so far. I just think they need to just pull it together in that last little clutch moment there, and they'll have one of these matches. Very close fought games so far. For anyone just joining me, some people are still typing. No pants. Okay, Twinkie just linked. Awesome. Asking for a little bit of EMP's info here in Twitch chat. Sorry. Hide your kids redeemed as Mech Bay. That's good to hear. Got plenty more of those, so keep tuning into matches. We're going to keep giving stuff out, and towards the end, frankly, if we haven't given out enough 500 MC packs, and chances are we probably won't have, we're just going to start giving them out to viewers. So tune in, be there. Good stuff. Okay, awesome. And Twinkie just gave me the rest of their info. So for the next Imperial match, I will even have the overlay all the way working. And for those of you in the crowd getting worried, has this idiot spaced out the drops? No, Heimdallite is still in lobby. I'm still watching. Adi might even have my back here. He is letting me know in Skype when they're dropping. But as the old, as an old wise Chinese man once said, never trust Adi. Actually, I don't know what culture that saying originated in, but never trust Adi. It's a great piece of advice. So this next one goes back to Conquest 3333. The burden isn't really on anyone to push, but the burden is definitely obviously on 228 to win here, because if they don't, this will be the end of the series. They are not eliminated from the tournament if they lose, however. They will go on to face, just checking here, okay, this is you And they're going to go on to face the winners of the match between Mercstar Axis of Ignorance and QQ Mercs, which will take place later this week at an undisclosed time because they haven't scheduled yet. But be sure to check the MechWarrior online subreddit, our Outreach HPG. If anybody did not find this stream from there, you should probably be paying attention to there, because where else are you going to get all your dev news? You're going to pay attention to Russ's Twitter and the forums and the news feed and the, and all the other devs, and forget that. Just come on Outreach. Z-Spot takes care of all that. Come be a part of Homeless Shill's playpen, I guess is what it comes down to. So that's there, and I will be posting all of these schedules and ideally videos. I still have yet to get a chance to export week 5 videos, but I will be doing that. I'll be doing that to my YouTube channel, and I will do that after week 6 as well. Hopefully I'll have a review post week 5 later on this week. Maybe not. It's a busy week at work, and just trying to get home to cast these matches is proving to be the difficult part. So, you know what's really great is when you have this scary moment where you're like, has the mic just been off for like the last 5 minutes? But it's not. And that's really good, because that would have been pretty lame. So they're still in lobby, and we're going to be launching at some point. I just want to point out some Illuminati shit right now. If you look at the map details, time to jump point, 22.8 days. 228th win confirmed. I don't know. You know what? That's going to be our last Mech Bay giveaway. What game that just recently came out in the past month have I been super excited about? That's right. That is a question for a Mech Bay. What game? You only get one guess. What game that just came out in the last month was I really excited about? And I say that in the sense that I don't get excited about games anymore. It's like sort of, how Christmas lost its luster around, like, I don't know, somewhere between like 10 and 13 years old. It was like, forget this. Bah. That's how I sort of feel about games these days. But sure enough, this one, I've been super excited. Really had a lot of fun playing it so far. Does anybody know? How am I even going to know to check chat in 5 minutes? It'll probably be in the middle of the match. I don't know. We're gonna roll with it. And if not, you know what? Start typing no pants in chat, because that's always the fallback. So that's the plan. When I made that I wanted to do 5 minutes between matches as a rule, and now I see what a completely ridiculous request that was. It's about a half hour per drop ultimately, but hey, whatever. It's a lot better than it was in the old days for anybody who hasn't been around forever and ever. We used to have to do what was called sync dropping. It sounds about as... It basically just meant hitting launch at the same time and hoping that the matchmaker dumped you together. This was when, for a while there weren't even... What was it? At first it was just the 12-man queue and then the everybody else queue. So that kind of worked out. But then when they did group queue in general, that really took it down. And the worst was when you were trying to play someone that was outside your elo zone, whether you were way better than them or way worse than them, the matchmaker just really didn't want to put you together. And that wasn't very fun. Sometimes people would drop for 3 hours just trying to get one drop in. So we have drop 3 on Tourmaline, Week 6 Major League MechWarrior, Winners Bracket, 228th IBR, Blackwatch versus Imperial. This could be the final drop, unless 228 pulls it out. And did I really change the overlay? Okay, I'm ever more paranoid, viewers. Trust me. Hey, I got new email messages, and you know what that pretty much always means? Subscribers. Zarathustra, George Ledoux, Elryu, R13, MechWarrior24, Xanthus29, Bedhanger. Thank you all for the follows. I didn't miss anybody else. Anybody else who recently followed me, shout out to you too. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Oh, and big shout out to NGNG. I didn't realize you were hosting this channel. That's totally boss. I hope you guys keep doing that because these are some of the best content you will ever see MechWarrior. I just love watching these, love shoutcasting these games. So fun to watch. Anyways, now that I'm done raving about that, they have switched sides now, and we are paused, I'm guessing, because none of them have started moving. We're just gonna hope we're waiting for a reconnect here. They need materials. PGI, let me buy materials. I want to buy shiny. I want to buy gritty paint for clan mechs. I want to buy shiny paint for IS mechs. I want to buy shiny pink direwolf. Anyways, so direwolves, fire starters, and it's a redrop. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna get in on somebody's cockpit right now. Okay, you know what? Let's. Can I check chat? That's a thing, right? Too much porn, not enough porn.
Artillery strike.
Oh, they gotta sub out. They gotta sub out somebody. Somebody's not working. Once again, EMP taking this by a fair margin, and that they are the first team dead. I guess if that's what you're going for, they are #1 team killers in A. And I will hopefully not have to restart my client. And in the Battle of the Pings, Proton wins the Battle of the Pings. 4 EU players. I think he's EU, isn't he? Maybe. I don't know. No, Michelius. Michelius with a 170 ping, the winner of that match. Jeez, this was too easy. It was too easy, but Hans Davian won it. So Hans Davian wins the last one. He was correct with his guess, The Witcher 3. Jeez, I know, I'm a huge cliche, but god damn it, dude. What the hell? You know, why can't games be made right anymore in a lot of ways? They're all just trying to squeeze as much money out of you as you can. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm a developer. I understand. It's a business. It's not a hobby. It's not an art form. It's a, well, you know, it's an art form, but it's a business first. It's an art form second. So I do appreciate all that. Having said that, seeing a developer, you know, I just played through BioShock Infinite. It's a good game. I like the... I like how everybody's no-pantsing it just in case. I just like that they put so much content in. You know, I played through BioShock, and it's like, yeah, it's a good game, whatever, you know, some feels and stuff, and some things I like and some things I don't like, but the amount of content I get, you know, even looking around for everything, you know, it was like a 10-hour playthrough, maybe 11, something like that. But The Witcher, just hundreds of hours of content, tons of free DLC, none of this, you know, exclusive pre-order crap. You know, take note, I will give you my money. Everything else, I wait for a Steam sale, but I bought that crap wholesale, including the Season Pass for DLC. I don't even care. about a season pass for DLC when it means that uh-oh. Don't disconnect on me. Don't do that. Okay, just checking that the overlays are doing it right. I believe I do have the correct overlay up, so... Hey, controller. Uh-oh. Well, that's not... I am trying... Okay, there we go. So, I already went through their drop deck. It's about the same as first time, and 228th, bum rushing up here. They're taking an aggressive stance this time. Timberwolves, Hellbringers, Direwolves in the back still, and they're engaging early. They're throwing up UAVs. They're getting their lights right in this. They're putting as much pressure as they can. EMP, however, does own the stage. A great defensive position. You can really spread out. McKelly down to 83% in his Hellbringer. Let's take a look at some of these percentages and see what we're looking... Oh, man. God, I wish this was easier. So, those Direwolves almost gotten up there by now. And 228 did a great job here of really making sure that their Direwolves could push up by putting the fire on EMP to make sure that they couldn't completely own the stage, on the front of the stage. They pushed them to the back of the stage, and that gave their Direwolves time. Now it looks like the Direwolves all going left, the rest of the team shifting back left. Lots of movement on 228's part. I don't know if they're just trying to juke him out or whatever. Some people poking me about things to mention. That after the match. So no one's down yet. Lots of good trades going on. Airpiece down to 79 in that Stormcrow. Ed down to 78. It's Firestarter. Nobody looks like they're too opened up at this point. The weak Stormcrow is rotated to the back. EMP. And 228 is just pushing left. They're just going to push around this left side. They're going to try to come up the back of the stage, it looks like. Definitely not a bad play. Grim and Ed not looking good. 64, 53% respectively. Don't know whose UAV this is, but I want to say it's 228's. Oh, man. Push Twinkie out of his comfort zone there. Not much else otherwise. And a Direwolf goes down for EMP. That push. So it's one apiece right now. Oh, just give me in on somebody. Really like to be in a Direwolf. That's a Direwolf. Ooh, a nice strike on Seleth there. He's really opened up. Imperial starting to shift left to counter and chase their tail. And he goes down. So right now, it's 4-2 Imperial's favor. Imperial doing a good job chasing. And 228th a little bit spread out on this push. That Timberwolf might go down. Oof, down to 32%. 27, he makes it away, but barely. And now it's Twinkie versus whoever he just blew apart. And it definitely looks like it is falling in Imperial's way, if only slightly. 5 down for them. Twinkie's really weak. Coburn's really weak in that Raven. Let's look at some damage numbers at this point. This could go either way, to be perfectly honest. So now it's a very even match. What, 5-5? 228th might even be up a player. We're up a player. Wow. We're going to jump in on Peter here, because he is in a Firestarter that is alive enough to do work. Lots of EMP's mechs are incredibly weak. If these Firestarters can pull it out, they've got the only real chance. We need to regroup and slow play this a little bit. He's already used his cool shot if he had one. Oof, there he goes. Coburn's down. His Firestarter's almost legged. Oh, how did that not leg him? That did it, right there. Oh, and he goes down. Proton gets him. So now it is just this incredibly weak Timberwolf, but he's got weapons. And he takes down Aurora. God, what a close match. Oh, Proton does it. Another absolute nail biter. No. Wait, no. No, I lied. Why can't I... Controller! Controller, come back to me. Sorry, viewers, my controller is being really sketchy right now. I don't know what to do. But use mouse. Fuck it. Here, how do I get out of somebody? There we go. Alright. So, it's just Grim in this Timberwolf. Do they have the cap advantage? Is that what I'm seeing now? Now I really wish I remembered the PC controls here. So, I don't really know, but everybody's super weak. He is totally toast in terms of weapons capabilities. Both his Gauss are gone, but it looks like they're up on caps. It looks like they're up 368 to 200. Now, they're up on cap points as well, so... I'm going to try to get the controller fixed while we wait for them to bumble around. I don't know how this is going to turn. This could very well come down to caps. Then again, I don't know if the cap points will fill up that fast. I don't... Just like Nintendo. Just, damn it. There we go. Just blow on it and it starts working again. Oh, Twinkie sees him. And they've seen him, and it's over. A valiant attempt by Grim, but it wasn't enough. And so the series goes to EMP 3-0. Very nice job by both teams. Real nail-biter matches, especially this last one. How close does it get? Every competitor was one shot away from death at the end there. Twinkie just needed one shot CT. I'm pretty sure Proton couldn't have been any better at 24%. Looking at damage numbers, great damage numbers from pretty much everybody. JP got caught out really quick in his Dire Wolf. Cicada went down. Cicada? I didn't even think about those, but yeah, weird mech choice there. Really interesting. Pisces 0 pulling as hard as he could, 725, 2 kills, 7 assists, and Proton, that Hellbringer, bringing it home for EMP there, finishing off those last couple of 228th mechs. Really glad I did not leave the overlays up for any of those matches, because those were actually incredibly good matches, and this is why this tournament exists and why I will do the work for this without. So, good stuff, and let's get this crap off of Map Tactic. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, people have been poking me on TeamSpeak about stuff, and first off, QQ versus Mercstar has been now scheduled. It's going to be Thursday at 9:30 p.m. No, because that's when the other match is between SJR or CSJ. So, okay, well, 2 matches are happening at 9:30 Eastern Time. I will try to figure out how to get both of those casted, or get somebody else to cast it, or who knows. But that'll be happening. Tune in for that. And then... would I mention that MRBC is back on track? Yeah. MRBC is back. They've just posted sign-up stuff, like maybe a sign-up extension, or I don't know what, but it seems like they've got a lot of sign-ups already, a lot of interest in that. It's a much different league, you know, it's not so meta-heavy, and so, you know, you should definitely check it out. You know, you have to, it's more, I don't know, it just seems more role and strategic minded. I'm pretty sure this is the one where you actually have to buy mechs, and each mech has a value, and it's sort of based on like the meta value rather than the value of its parts, stuff like that. Yeah, so check those out. It's gonna be another league, and you know what, I at least will be shoutcasting whatever mechs or whatever matches they have, whether it's MRBC or Arhod or Mercstar's new Community Warfare League. I don't really know exactly how that one's going to go, but yeah, so good stuff. It was a good series of matches here. I'm going to do a quick recap of that last match on Map Tactics now. Let's get this beautiful set of drawings off canvas. This was the first time they ended up switching sides, so EMP spawned in red, took the stage immediately, and by, oh man, we're still in polygon drawing mode. This is just terrible. What kind of shit is this? Alright. So they took stage immediately. 228th really pushed up hard and sort of took this area here and pushed EMP to the back of stage, because if they owned the front of stage and they were peeking off of this front ridge right here, it's a problem. It's really hard to get your, it's really easy rather for them to take out your dire wolves. And of course their dire wolves were a little farther back. They trotted in a little bit later. 228 did a great job putting pressure on and making sure their direwolves had time. Once the direwolves were up, the whole team circled left. And a few went in there. Got a little bit spread out at some point there, but they did a pretty good, nice, cohesive push in there. And from there, it was just a nice set of trades. EMP started filtering out, and then it was just a little bit of ring around the rosy and sort of traded places. And it really just came down to, Peter 2000, that fire starter. I feel like he could have clutched it if Proton had not blown that right torso out. Likewise, that last Timberwolf probably would have had it if Proton hadn't made that shot that he did right there. I don't know exactly what Proton looked like in terms of damage at the end, but 24% makes me think he was equally just about to die. So, great match, real nail biter. I believe it was, 12 to 10, something like that, and both of the remaining mechs were under 40%. Absolutely ridiculous. Great series. Glad I casted this, and hope everybody had fun watching. So normally I guess I'd babble for a while and try to make up something, but you know what, we're just gonna end it on this note. Great job by both teams. Thank you for playing. Thank you, Adi, for letting me know when you're going to drop. Thank you to the viewers for tuning in. Over 100 of you. Impressive. For, if you want to tune into future casts, you can always subscribe here or the YouTube channel, or just watch Outreach. I don't care about subscriptions, although they are nice. Experience plus, right? Shout out to TNN PGI, the advertising, making this tournament happen, the prizes, the mech base to give away, all that good stuff. Herpes, 500 MC, all courtesy of them. So that's good stuff. Thank you to all our donors for the prize pool. We've got a, $2,800, $2,750, something like that, prize pool for the winner, in addition to PGI's $1,000 contribution of random stuff. So thank you to everybody there. Thank you to all the teams that signed up. Thank you to NGNG for hosting this channel. And I think that's going to do it. Be sure to tune in later this week, Thursday, 9:30 p.m. for CSJ SJR and QQ versus Mercstar. And tune in Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for Antari Scorpions versus Seraphim Rising Storm. Hope everybody had fun, and I will see you guys later. Signing off.